The Witch is written and directed by Robert Eggers and stars Ralph Ineson, best known as Finchy in the UK version of The Office, and Kate Dickie, who is best known as the really creepy breastfeeding mum in Game of Thrones. Ineson looks very different in this. Dickie really doesn't. They are incredibly, extremely religious parents in 18th century New England, whose family is cast out from the village in which they live, and they are essentially forced to make a small farm to get by. The family is then targeted by a witch that lives in the woods next to the family home, and what proceeds is the family both being tormented externally by the witch and by witchcraft, but also ripped apart internally by fears, by suspicion, and by the suspicion of witchcraft. Now, this film, I think it's kind of a Marmite film, because this is a horror film with no jump scares. There are no jump scares at all in this film. Instead, what you get is a real slow burn, creepy, just real sense of uneasiness for about 95 minutes, however long it is. And not everyone is going to like that. This is not your standard modern horror film. This is not bloody teenagers going into a room and someone jumping out from behind a wardrobe with some dramatic music making a jump scare. No, this is just pure uneasiness, creepiness throughout the whole film, and I really enjoy that in a horror film. It's very similar in a lot of ways to the original Wicker Man with Christopher Lee, not that nonsense with Nicolas Cage. What's in the bag? Shut up. No, this is going back. This is a more old school horror film in that it relies on that creepiness and that uneasiness. It's also really, really complemented by some fantastic acting. The acting by everyone in this film is brilliant, absolutely superb. There are a couple of scenes which are genuinely stunning, actually jaw-dropping how good the performances are, and I'm so glad that Ralph Ineson has finally been given a chance to show what he can do in a leading role, because most of the time he's been seen in a little bit in film, but mostly in TV in Britain in a supporting role. This film proves beyond any doubt that he can do the leading role, because he is fantastic throughout the film. By the end, this is a man whose faith drives everything he does, drives everything in his life, and by the end of this film it has been absolutely shaken to its core, and he simply doesn't know what to do. He is being completely ripped apart, and he is so desperate to do anything he can. He doesn't know what to do. There was one scene which actually pretty much had me borderline in tears, because you could feel the emotion coming from him, that he was so desperate and didn't know what to do. The acting is absolutely impeccable in this film, and I absolutely loved watching it. This film isn't for everyone. Like I said, I genuinely think some people will find this film kind of boring, to be honest, because it is such a slow burn, and it is just that sense of creepiness and uneasiness that just goes throughout the whole film. Some people will find that boring. I'm not one of those people, and if you're not, I heartily recommend this, because it is a good example of a real slow burn horror film.